Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial for the Crochet Summer top. For this project you would need yarn. For a size extra small, I will be using 2 skeins, a 4mm crochet hook, a 3mm crochet hook, a needle, pair of scissors and stitch markers. Begin with a slip knot. Using your 3mm hook, make a chain of 113. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Continue to 113 chains. I've completed 113 chains. I now need to join the chain that's attached to the hook to the first chain. To do this, ensure that your chains are not twisted. Join the first and last stitch by using a slip stitch. Round 1, chain 2. In this round, we'll be working half double crochets all through the round. So to work a half double crochet, it's yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops on your hook. So that's yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 stitches on your hook. Continue with half double crochets to complete the round. Complete round 1 by slip stitching into the chain 2 from the start of the round. Round 2, chain 1. Round 2 is a round of single crochets where we will also be working increases. We'll begin by working 3 single crochets. To work a single crochet, it's insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that's insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull your hook through 2 loops. So I've worked 3 single crochets. In my next stitch, I'll work an increase. So that's work 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Again, it's 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and an increase. So it's 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Then it's 6 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. That's 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Continue working 6 single crochets followed by an increase until you have 5 stitches remaining. I've worked 5 single crochets into the last 5 stitches, and I'll slip stitch into the chain 1. Round 3, chain 2. Round 3 is a round of half double crochets. I've completed round 3 and I've slip stitched into the chain 2 from the start of the round. Round 4, chain 1. In round 2, we increased from 113 stitches to 129 stitches. So in this round, we'll increase to 145 stitches. Again, it's a round of single crochet. So it's work 3 single crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and an increase by working 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Thereafter, I'll work 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an increase. Continue working 7 single crochets and an increase until you have 5 stitches remaining. I've worked 5 single crochets into the 5 remaining stitches, and I've slip stitched into the chain 1 from the start of the round. Moving on to round 5, it's chain 1 and work single crochets all through the round. Continue to end the round. I've completed round 5 by slip stitching into the chain 1 from the start of the round. Also, I made sure that my stitch count was 145. Moving on to round 6, it's chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 4 counts as 1 double crochet and a chain 1. I'll then skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and work a double crochet into the 5th stitch. To work a double crochet, it's yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook, and another 2. Then I'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work another double crochet into the same stitch. So that's yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and go through another 2. Then it's chain 1, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, work a double crochet, followed by a chain 3 and another double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, work a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1. Continue with chain 1, skip 4, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into 1 stitch, chain 1, skip 4, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into 1 stitch to complete the round. I've come to the end of round 6 with 4 stitches remaining. I've chained 1. I'll skip the 4 stitches and work a double crochet into the same stitch from where I worked the chain 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the chain 4. Moving on to round 7, slip stitch into the double crochet, and slip stitch into the 1st loop. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. I'll now work 6 double crochets into this loop. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So counting the chain 3, it becomes 7 double crochets. Into my next loop, I'll work 7 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Continue working 7 double crochets into every chain 3 space. To end round 7, slip stitch into the 3rd stitch from the chain 3 at the start of the round. Round 8, slip stitch into the 4th double crochet. At the 4th double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the same stitch. Then it's chain 1 and into the 4th double crochet from the 7 double crochets that you worked in the previous round. Work a double crochet followed by a chain 3 and a double crochet again. Chain 1. Again into the 4th stitch, work a double crochet followed by chain 3, double crochet. Continue working double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the 4th stitches until the end of the round. In round 8, I've chained 1 and I'll slip stitch into the chain 3 from the start of the round. Round 9, chain 2. Work a half double crochet into the first double crochet. Work 3 half double crochets into the loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, and a half double crochet into the double crochet from the previous round. Work a half double crochet into the chain 1 space, a half double crochet into the double crochet. Thereafter continue 3 half double crochets into the loops, and for every double crochet work a half double crochet. For every chain 1 space work a half double crochet. I've completed round 9 by slip stitching into the chain 2. Round 10, I chained 1, single crocheted all through the round and slip stitched into the chain 1. Round 11 was a round of half double crochet. Round 12 was a round of single crochet. We will now separate the front body from the back body and the armholes. To do this, count 13 stitches from the start of the piece. So it will be the very next stitch will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Place a stitch marker into that stitch and fold your piece. That stitch marker marks the shoulder fold. So fold your piece and on the other side place a stitch marker into the fold. We've already counted 13 stitches on the one side. So from the stitch marker, the next stitch, I'll count 13 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I'll place a stitch marker into that stitch. I can remove the stitch marker from this arm fold. So from the start to the stitch marker, I have 26 stitches. On the other side, I'll count 13 stitches on either side of the stitch marker. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Place a stitch marker into that stitch. And from here, including the stitch marked with the stitch marker, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'll place a stitch marker into that stitch. I can now remove the middle stitch marker as it is no longer needed. On either side of my piece, I have 26 stitches. We now move on to the front body. So round 1, chain 2, 1, 2. Work half double crochets to the next stitch marker. Continue to the stitch marker. I've worked my last half double crochet for round 1 of the body into the stitch just before the stitch marked with the stitch marker. Round 2 of the front body, chain 1 and turn. Round 2 is a round of single crochets. In this round, we will also work increases. Our first increase, we'll work it into the first stitch. So into the first stitch, it's 2 single crochets. Thereafter, 1 single crochet for every stitch. I've worked single crochets all through round 2 of the front body. At my last stitch, I'll work an increase. So that's 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. Round 3, chain 2 and turn. In this round, I'll work half double crochets all through the round. Continue to the stitch marker. I've completed round 3 to round 11 of the front body. For rounds 4, 6, 8 and 10, I worked single crochets. In those rounds, I also increased in the first stitch and in the last stitch. For rounds 5, 7, 9 and 11, I worked half double crochets. At round 12, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and turn. Work 3 slip stitches into the 3 chains. It's 1, 2 and 3. Continue working single crochets. To the end of round 12. I've single crocheted to the end of round 12, chain 5, 3, 4, 5 and turn. Round 13, I'll work my first half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. The next half double crochet into the next chain, the next one into the last chain from the chain 5. Continue working half double crochets into all the stitches for round 13. I've completed round 13 by working 3 half double crochets into the 3 chains that we slip stitched into in the previous round. I've completed rounds 14 to 23. For rounds 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, I worked single crochets. For rounds 15, 17, 19, 21, and 22, I worked half double crochet. Make sure that your stitch count is in multiples of 5 plus 2. I have a total of 77 stitches, so that works out perfectly for my pattern. Moving on to the lace pattern for the front body using the 4mm hook. Chain 1 and turn. Skip the first stitch and slip stitch to the 4th stitch. At the 4th stitch, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And work a double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1. Skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the 5th stitch, work a double crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work a double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1. Continue, skip 4, work a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into 1 stitch, chain 1, skip 4, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into 1 stitch until you reach the end of the round. I've come to the end of round 1 of the lace pattern. Chain 1 and turn. I do have a few stitches remaining, which I will leave as is. We are at round 2 of the lace pattern. We've chained 1 and turned. So slip stitch into the double crochet and slip stitch into the loop. Chain 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Thereafter, work 6 double crochets into the first loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Including chain 3, it counts as 7 double crochets. To the next loop or the chain 3 spaces, work 7 double crochets each. Completed round 2 of the lace pattern. Chain 1 and turn. Round 3 of the lace pattern, I'll slip stitch to the 4th double crochet of the previous round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 3 again and work a double crochet into the same stitch. chain 1, again into the 4th double crochet from the next set of 7 double crochets, work a double crochet, chain 3 double crochet the pattern to the end of round 3. Repeat rounds 2 and 3 for the desired length of the top. In this case, I've repeated it until round 16. Moving on to the back body, attach your yarn to the stitch just next to the stitch marker and knot it to secure. Insert your hook into the stitch and pull up a loop. Chain 2. Continue with the back body as we did for the front body. Repeat the pattern for the back body. I've completed both the front and back body panels. I now need to stitch the 2 sides together. To do that, I've threaded my needle. I'll stitch into the first lace pattern at the end. Thereafter, on the one side, I'll weave my needle through so that it remains opened in between the pattern. At the next double crochet 7, and I'll join it to the other side. Again, I'll weave my needle through to get to the next 7 double crochets. And join the back and front together at that point. Again, weave through and join. Weave through again, and join. Continue weaving through and joining at the 7 double crochet at that point until you reach your stitches. I've weaved through the stitches for my lace pattern. I'm now at my half double crochets and single crochets. Here I will use the mattress stitch to join the 2 sides together. I've completed seaming up the sides and it looks like so. Do the same for the other side. To complete the sleeve, I worked 1 round of the lace pattern along the top of the armhole.